invisible sheep. Welcome back to our classroom. Before we start, please like and subscribe. Today, we will be learning about tree diagrams and the basics of probability. There is a formula that you can use for some probabilities. The probability in these sometimes is the amount of ways for something to happen divided by the total number of possible results. For example, work out the probability of picking the letter P from these options randomly. Pineapples, penguins. There are 4 P's and there's 4 different ways to pick it. And there are 18 letters, so it's 4 over 18, which can be simplified to 2 over 9. Probabilities always add up to 1, and most of the time they're written as fractions, so if the fractions add up to 1, it's correct. If it doesn't, it's not. And if there is only one possible result that can happen at a time, the probabilities must sum up to 1. If there can be 2, for example, that can happen at a time, then it's not 1. You need to add the probability that the event happens with the probability that the event doesn't happen, and that'll equal 1. So I'll give you an example question. What is the probability of the dice landing on 5? This dice is unfair dice, and I've written all but one of the probabilities. Please work it out. Now let's talk it through together. There are 3 0.2, so that will be 0.2 times 3, which is 0.6, and then add 0.2. 0.6 plus 0.2 is 0.8, so the missing number must be 0.2. Now I will teach you the and or rules. First, I'll teach you the and rule. The probability that A and B occurs is the probability that A happens and multiplied by the probability that B happens. The probability of A and B both happening is AB, which is A times B. I'll give you an example question. Max picks one paper each from box X and box Y. Find the probability that he picks a blue one from both. There are 10 papers in each box, 6 blue papers in box Y, 2 in box X. The probability that Max picks a blue paper from box Y is 6 over 10, which is 0.6. The probability that Max picks a blue paper from box X is 2 over 10, which is 0.2. The probability that Max picks a blue paper from both the boxes is 2 over 10 multiplied by 6 over 10, which is 12 over 100, which is 0.12, or in percentage, 12%. Now I'll teach you the or rule. Or probability that A or B occurs is equal to the probability of A happening plus the probability of B happening. It means that the probability of either A or B occurring is the 2 separate probabilities added together. So don't just add the 2 numbers that they are, add the probability of one of them happening with the other probability. Before we continue, let's practice some questions. Number 1, calculate the probability that the arrow lands on 4. Calculate the probability of the arrow not landing on 3 or 2. Tree diagrams. These are the basics, so they apply to all tree diagrams. The total of the probabilities has to equal 1, and if it doesn't, it is wrong. And by that, I don't mean all of them, because not all of the fractions have to add up to 1, because they won't. I mean, if they're all shaped in V's. So if there's 2 numbers on a single V, then those have to add up to 1. And if there are multiple on a W, it will have to add up to 1 as well. I'll give you an example question like before. A box contains 4 yellow cubes and 8 blue cubes. One is taken at random and the color is noted and they are not replaced. And this is how you would draw the tree diagram. Please remember this because you might need to draw one for another question. I'll give you a few tips to solve tree diagram questions. Break the questions down into a sequence of events. And you don't need to complete the whole tree diagram sometimes. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It depends, and you need to read the question carefully. And be careful and look out for conditional probabilities, because these could trip you up. Questions that feature at least is 1 minus the probability of that many and less than that many happening. I'll give you a few questions that if you can solve with ease, you clearly understand tree diagrams well. And you should challenge yourself with harder questions. 3 marbles are taken at random, without a replacement, from a bag that contains 35 yellow balls and 25 gray balls. What is the probability that exactly 2 yellow balls and 1 purple ball is taken? What is the probability that the first ball taken is the same color as the last one? I'll give you another question. 3 marbles are taken at random, without a replacement, from a bag that contains 20 blue balls and 15 green balls. Find the probability that the first two selected were at least one was green, they are both green or both blue, there is one that is blue and there is one that is green. And that is it for today's video. If you learned something new, please like and subscribe. 3, 2, 1.